Hold on. Something says something's not right. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yay. We'll just get rid of this front part here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We're in biz.
Take it away.
All right. Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Lindsay Levite. I am with Alyssa Shoemaker, and we are so pumped that you guys have decided to join our webinar, because honestly, we know what it's like. There's so many invitations to join my webinar or for free training, and there's so many times many of our clients are disappointed, which is why we said if we are going to do a webinar, we want this to be kick-ass. We want it to make sure that women are leaving feeling empowered and knowledgeable, right? So not feeling like I just wasted 30, 40 minutes of my time. We want to make sure you're feeling like, yes, can I hop on again, right? So before we get started, we really just wanted to make sure that you ladies get to know us a little bit more, as well as download your Socialite Solutions worksheet. So if you haven't done that, we're going to give you a moment right now to go through your computer, because you should have that right now. Again, it's truly just to note take. It's to make sure that you guys are keeping on track, or if there's really great points and nuggets of information that you guys could write those down. But again, don't feel like that you got to turn this in. Maybe you're more of a listener, which is cool. But if you're one of the note takers, that's for you. So moving forward, we are going to just introduce ourselves so you guys can know who the heck Alyssa and Lindsay and even Christiana is. And you're probably wondering, where is Christiana? Which I'll go through that in a moment. So we'll first share off. I'll pass the mic over to Alyssa, and she can share a little bit about her background and how all of her amazingness.
Hey girls, I'm super excited that you guys are here today joining us for this webinar. It means so much, and it's really a gift to be able to share just what we've learned with all of you guys, so you guys can grow incredible, impactful businesses online as well. First of all, I want to say that I am somebody that fell into entrepreneurship. I am a mom of 3 kids. I was a registered nurse working in the pediatric ICU and the trauma unit for 15 years, and I had a heart and a passion and a soul for nursing. And then I had a life-changing event where my grandfather passed away 6 years ago, and during that time, I had this calling in my soul to do something different. I necessarily really didn't believe what was occurring within the healthcare system, and I felt like I could help people in another way. And so I ended up starting an online health and fitness coaching business, really working on health promotion, disease prevention, happiness, all of that kind of stuff, and was able to leave my nursing position 9 months into starting my own business, and created a 6-figure income within my first year and $1 million business within my first 3. And now we are a multi-million-dollar business within 5 years. And so it's mind-blowing to me, because I just want to empower you guys that it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what your education is. And none of that stuff really matters. It matters of what is planted in your soul now, and the fact that you're taking action on those things and know that there is a purpose for you and that there's enough for you to go around. So I'm really, really excited to partner up with Soulbabe Tribe. These women are absolutely amazing. My business partners, Lindsay and Christiana. It has been a gift to partner up with them, and I'm just really excited to just share with you guys all the things that we have learned to help you just grow that business that you have in your dreams, that business that you guys have within your visions, and know that it is completely possible for you. So I'm going to turn this over to my sister, Lindsay, and she's going to share with you a little bit about her story and her business adventure.
Yeah, so 2 snaps to that, and amen to everything that Alyssa said, because truthfully, we are all capable of doing wild things, which is the beauty of our lives, right? Like, just to see where Alyssa for 15 years was a nurse and turning into now a 7-figure online entrepreneur. So for myself, I'm going to go with that in just a moment, but I want to introduce our middle sister, which is Christiana. She's not with us today, but she is literally a social media guru. Her and I have been working together for a few years. And when we met, I always talk about this, like it was a soul language. You meet and you're like, there's a soul connection. You're so awesome. And we started working together because I was a high performance coach, entrepreneur. She was doing a lot of social media coaching. And when we collaborated together, it was like fire, right? And then Alyssa came on and now it's like explosions. So Christiana has been working literally with predominantly Instagram for 6 years. Literally since it started. She is like the queen of understanding algorithms and engagements. She had a pretty gnarly story, which I'll let her share with you guys soon. You guys get to hear her, but it forced her to step out of her comfort zone. And within 30 days, she was like, I mean, there was a lot going on, but she decided she has to start her own business. And overnight, she started her business, which we don't recommend rushing things like she did, but she had to. And in her first week, she was booked with clients, and since then has been booked. And it truly is it's such a testament to her work ethic and her genius zones. Like she's insane with branding and Instagram and social media, and she is the brains so much of the technology portion of our amazing little circle. So for myself, I am a mother of 2. I am a wife to a Los Angeles City firefighter. My goal and dream was always to help and serve people. I've been a performer and a dancer since I was younger, and I've been to Cambodia teaching women how to speak English, women coming out of sex trafficking. Like that's always been my heart. Well, I love education. I'm a super big nerd. And so I started, I got my master's degree in counseling and was working as a professor and counselor for years. And that's still part of my heart and soul because I help foster youth and women who are in bondage to sex trafficking. Well, in the midst of that, I have this entrepreneur side that just wasn't getting out of my system. And I felt like I'm working with people one-on-one, but I want to work with the masses. So a few years back, I decided I'm going to step out into the online world. And again, it was like that magic happened. It was, of course, a lot of work and inspired action, but the stars aligned. I booked my first client in my first 30 days. I was a $7,000 client. And since then, I have been so blessed by the women I've worked with because they've been soul clients, because I would rather work with a few women who love what they have a vision for what they're doing, like Alyssa said, and love what they're doing, than
Lindsay? God.
So I'm back. Are we still recording?
Hold on. Okay, it is recording again.
All right, Booze. So we apologize again. We're live, so there may be technical difficulties, but we're going to press through, right? Because this is life. But just so you guys know, again, my heart is to truly serve women, and that's been my dream and goal for so long. And it's literally the most amazing feeling to be working with Alyssa and Christiana. And hopefully you guys get to meet one of our other partners too, Anna, soon as well. But we really wanted you guys to come on today to make sure that we can educate you and avoid the mistakes that we have made, because social media can be a beast, honestly, in its own. There's so much to learn. And if you need to know everything about every single platform, big secret, you don't. And so we're going to go over 5 steps to really promote an engaging audience and to become that social media socialite, because I'm sure you see women who are thriving, right? You see Alyssa, who's 7 figures, Christiana and I, 6-figure earners who have built these empires. And it's been, yes, of course, with strategy, and we're going to share that, but it's also learning your market. And so we're going to go through 5 different elements, and Alyssa's going to start off with our first one. And feel free, you guys, to ask questions in the chat box. We'll be answering questions at the end. If we don't get to yours, please know we love you guys. You can always DM us on Soulbabe Tribe, but we're going to try to get to as many questions as we can at the end.
All right, babes, let's get this party started.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that I think is super, super important and something that you must do when you start your online business. And a mistake that I see in the women that I see is that they don't know who they are trying to work with. They don't know who they're trying to serve. And most people that I work with, they're very serving individuals. They're heart-driven leaders. And so they want to help everybody in the masses. And so one thing that I think is super, super important, and what you really need to start with, is knowing who your ideal client is. You got to know who it is that you want to work with, right? You got to know, like, who is your tribe? Who is that person that you want to serve? Who is that girl that literally you are working for on a daily basis? And I say that because my business is so much bigger than myself. My business is not about me. If my motivation was just about me and just about myself, I think I would have quit a long time ago, right? So you got to know, like, who is that girl that needs to hear your particular message, your particular training, your particular coaching, your particular services that only you and you can provide, right? There's tons of other people that might offer the same kind of training, but only you are going to be able to provide something that that particular person needs to hear. And I think that that is really, really important. So how do you do that, right? How do you figure out who your ideal client is? Well, girlfriend, it starts really with figuring out who you are, right? And I think that that's really something that is really tough to figure out. I know when I first started my business, I was a mom, I was a nurse, my baby was 9 months old, and I was in the thick of it. Like, I was in, you know, the diapers and the strollers and just mad chaos of having little kids running around. And I really, really had to figure out, like, who am I? Because I had lost, like, really who my identity was as a person, and I had lost what my dreams were and what my aspirations were and what the things that really, really lit me up, because there was really no time for me during that time. It was kind of like a survival mode within my life, right? And so this is where you really have to figure out and get super clear on who that person is that you want to make an impact with. And that's going to come from you doing some soul searching really within yourself and figuring out, you know, what do you really love? What do you really enjoy? What are the things that you would do no matter what? If you got paid with them, whatever, you could talk about them until, you know, the cows started to fly, right? And so make a list of those things. It's one thing I really encourage, you know, the girls that I work with to do, is to make a list of just all those things that completely light you up and give gratitude to those things, right? But then also, kind of like Lindsay was talking about, like, what are the things that make you really upset, right? Like sex trafficking, or, you know, for me, like, it's watching just families or kids that need to have, like, a better life and aren't, like, started with the right kind of existence, right? Or helping women, like, love themselves and really reach out their goals and empowering each other. Like, what is those things that just really, really light you up? And write all of those things down, because number one, you're going to get content from that area, and number two, it's also going to be able to help you find and work with your soul babes, which is really what you want to achieve, right? Then really what they want you to think about is, what I like to do is call it an avatar. And I want you to think about this girl, and I want you to give this girl that you and only you alone can help. All right. And I want you to give this girl, does she have brown hair? Does she have blonde hair? Where does she live? What does she do? What is her occupation? You know, is she married? Is she single? What does her past look like? What are her struggles, right? What is she struggling with? Also think about, you know, where is she seeking her information, right? So if she is somebody that is maybe seeking information on blogging, maybe she's seeking information in YouTubing, maybe she seeks all of her information via the television, right? Or maybe she's somebody that's more social media driven. You have to know a lot of these things, and we'll talk about this as we go into our further points, but you got to know all you can about this girl, and oftentimes it's going to come from you. So when I think about who my ideal client is, you're kind of looking right at her, right? So I look for girls, I love free people, and I'm very much a free-spirited individual, and I'm a very high vibe individual, and I love, like, you know, spiritual gangster and free people and Nordstrom's and crystals, right? So, like, you are looking at who my ideal client is. You are looking right at my soul sister. So, even take a look at yourself. Like, where do you shop? What kind of online stores are you looking at? And really paint that picture of who that girl is. And oftentimes that girl is maybe somebody that's just a couple years behind of where you were. That girl who needs to hear the problems that you've had, the struggles that you've gone through, the mountains that you have climbed, and to give that girl the inspiration that she needs to be lifting herself up, right? Mm-hmm. So you're really thinking about what the who, what the what the when, what the how, what the where, what the why is all over about this girl. So you need to know these things. And I like to even just go and I Google. It might sound freaky, but I like to Google and I like to put an image to what this person looks like, right? So that every time that I am talking on social media, that I am talking to my one boo-boo bear out there that needs to hear what I have to say. And what makes this so incredible is that when you nail this part, you guys, and then you literally are working with like your besties like all day long. It's like the universe like pulls these people into you and you're like, oh my gosh, where have you been my whole entire life, right? Like, where have you been? And you feel like you're completing each other's sentences and you meet each other and you feel like you've known each other for your whole lives. But it's because you know who you are talking to and you're resonating so much with that girl that she needs to have what you want to have. So really, really knowing your ideal client, creating that avatar, give this girl a name, what is she like, where is she dressing, make all of those kind of lists for yourself so that you are really working daily, intentionally with people that you love and you're surrounding yourself with people that are going with the same kind of direction. Because like Lindsay said, I would rather have people watch this video or this webinar and say like, yes, girl, like you are totally me. Like, I totally understand where you are coming from, or you to be like, no, like she's really not my vibe. I'm more this way or I'm more that way. I would rather have that because then I know somebody else out there is going to either serve you better, or I know that I am going to have a complete blast working with you. And to me, it's all about time over money, right? I know my time investment, I know my money, I know my worth, and I value my time. And so I really want to be working with my ideal client because that's like working with my besties all over the world. So really nailing, girls, who your ideal client is so, so, so important. Do not take this step. I know that we talk about ideal clients all the time, really understanding, but you have to know exactly who it is that you are serving. If you're a mom that wants to help somebody lose weight after having a baby, then you go, in that niche. If you're somebody like me that's like a free-spirited entrepreneur and like wants freedom and love and, peace like all over the world, and then you go with somebody with me, right? Or you're going to be attracted to somebody that's maybe a little bit more, like champagne and stilettos, there's a study out there for everybody. And so take this time to do these steps so that you can really have the best of your time spent and really start working with your boos. So I'm going to hand this over to Lindsay, and she's going to talk to you guys and give you guys some tips on branding.
Yes. So we're going to go into part 2, which is so great because I feel like, honestly, Alyssa just set me up so well so I can hit her home run. So I'm good. I'm so happy. And being true to yourself and your brand is everything, because once you guys know, just like what Alyssa spoke of, that's the foundational key. When you know your client, when you know who you're trying to speak to, then your brand naturally, I think, evolves. So if you're talking like what Alyssa said, if you are, I'm gearing towards really marketing towards moms, right? You really are like, that is my ideal avatar. I love that. But yet your entire brand is about like college age students. Those don't mix, right? The branding and the ideal client don't mix. Not saying you can't be a mom and in college, but that demographic is like 18 to 24, where usually the mom gang is like 24 and on, right? Not saying you can't be young moms, but that's where you want to get really honed into. Am I looking for, okay, maybe it is younger moms. Then you got to fix that into your branding, because these are very specific elements that you have to implement in your branding. So I'm going to give you guys an example, because this is one of the key elements, is facing your fears with branding. So sometimes, just like what Alyssa said, you may say like, I'm this free spirit. I am this like peace lover. That's who I am. Okay, that's great. So that's part of your brand. That is who you are. But how are we going to bring that to life? Which means to us, what I always encourage our clients is facing your fears, which means be so ruthlessly authentic. You need to know who you are first before creating that brand. If you know that you're like, damn, I've been watching this girl on Instagram for years and I love her vibe. And so you're going to try to emulate her, it will not work. And why it won't work is because it's not you. There's no other person in this world with the life experiences, with your testimonials, with what you've gone through, that can develop the brand that you're supposed to have. Now, you can get influences from other people 100%. You can be like, gosh, I love this girl's vibe. I love these girls' colors. I love this girl's, the way she dresses. Cool. That can all develop into who you are, but be true to yourself. So I'm going to give you guys an example. When I started off, I was very hesitant as an entrepreneur to share that I was a professor and counselor. Why? Because I was like, so many people go and quit their jobs and think, what if they don't take me serious? Because I'm a professor and counselor. And then my coach swapped me upside the head. I was like, girl, you have more validation that way. What are you talking about? I'm in a place in my life where I feel like that is still a huge part of my soul. And so I don't have to let that go. So my clients, most of them are women who are still working moms, or they're working women, but they have this knack, this drive to still have an online presence. So I help marriage family therapists, women who are in the field, say, I want an online presence. So now they're working half the time one-on-one with clients, but now they're able to work with thousands of women with what they want to do. So my branding changed a bit to where it was like, I can help the online entrepreneur who maybe this is her only thing, but I also can help a woman who is educated, a woman who is in the career field, who wants to move into an online space. So I had to face that fear of, get rid of this narrative that if you're a professor and a counselor, that you can't have an online business that's thriving. Once I got rid of that, it was like the brand came alive, right? Well, the best part is once I started exposing that is when I started, just like Alyssa said, the universe, you start like connecting to these people who are your tribe, which is when I got asked to be CEO of Soulbabe Tribe, and this whole new element of life like sprung into my life, which was so beautiful. And so that is where Christiana, myself, Alyssa had come together and say, okay, who is our brand as Soulbabe Tribe? I know who Alyssa is. I know who Lindsay is. I know who Christiana is. How do we what bonds us? And ours it's a Soulbabe, like working with women who are soulful. So how do you brand that, right? How do you brand these three women? It's really trying to find the essence of, well, what are the things that are commonalities for us, right? It's what can we be consistent with? And that's what I always share with my clients is branding is not just, okay, my colors are pink and silver and a little touch of turquoise or whatever. Like those are colors, babes. That's not a brand, right? If you go to an Instagram and you see, oh, their color scheme is so amazing, I love their branding. That is a part of their branding, but another part of their branding is their lives, is their stories, is the feel that you get. It's just like Alyssa said, they're shopping at Nordstrom's, they're taking pictures of Nordstrom's, they're clinking champagnes with their besties. Like that is part of their brand. And so if you don't know who your ideal client is, you don't know yourself, it's going to be really hard to develop that brand. So once you've made that list, just like Alyssa talked about, I want you guys then to look at, okay, now I know my avatar, I know who I'm speaking to. What is my brand going to look like? Are you going to be the girl who's like, I'm obsessed with coffee, I go to Starbucks all the time, and that literally your Starbucks gig, and that's how you generate like your energy in the morning? Like if you're going to bring that, like that may be part of your brand, right? So one thing that I want you guys to hone in on is once you decide who your avatar is, now you're like, okay, I know that I need to be true to myself and my brand. One of the main key components is you have to be consistent. So that doesn't mean you can't ever change and evolve. But when you say, this is who I am, this is where I'm at, then you want to serve that. You want to serve that to the masses, right? So I give an example, like, I'm not a coffee drinker, babe. So I'm just not. So kill me right now. I know. I'm like a tea drinker. I love tea. So if I go to some tea shop, like with one of my girls, and we go and I get delivered this like gorgeous teacup with this macaroon that was for free on the side, taste the tea latte and it's something I've never tried before. It's like to die for. I am like, oh my gosh, I'm bringing everyone I can here, right? Because they have brand, I'm obsessed with the ambiance. I'm obsessed with how they've delivered me this tea. And so I'm drinking it, right? And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm going to bring my other girl here. We come, and instead of this beautiful teacup, they bring me this just like white basic teacup. I take a sip of the tea. It's okay. And there's no macaroon on the side. Well, now I'm kind of screwed up in the head. I'm like, what the hell? Like last time I came here, it was literally on point. And now here, like, I don't even have my cool macaroon. Now what it means, it doesn't mean I will never go back there, but yeah, I'm going to talk to management and be like, hey, what's up? Like last time I came here, it was like this, and I brought my girl and it's maybe not the same. And granted, the manager, whoever's there, can be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We had someone new. They can bring me back with now a new glass of tea and 2 macaroons, and it's on the house. And they've recovered, right? Because I'm like, damn, okay, cool. It's all bravo. But if they go, oh, I'm sorry, that's just not, we don't always do that, I'm probably not going to go back because the consistency isn't there. But if they're able to take ownership and say, hey, yeah, things have changed, but here, let me accommodate you, that's awesome. So I'm going to give you another example with Soulbabe Tribe. We have we have a lot of different brands underneath Soulbabe Tribe. If you guys want to check out Wild Fempire right now, literally get on your cell phone, go to Instagram and put in Wild Fempire. You can see our branding there. If you go there, that literally exudes so much of our like sexy, on the top, high ambitious entrepreneur women. It's fun, it's sexy, it's bold, it can like push lines a little bit, but that's kind of our little edgy brand that's underneath us. If you go to Soulbabe right now, Soulbabe Tribe, you're going to find empowering messages, right? And that's something that we have remained consistent since day one. We are always empowering women with Soulbabe Tribe. So with that being said, whether you're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you want to know your brand. You want to know who you are and who you're serving. Branding is not just colors. It is not just your logo. It is the feeling that you give people when they're tuning into your live, when they're reading your blog posts, when they're reading your emails. They get that feeling. They're like, oh, boo-boo, I got you. I love that energy. I am all in, right? So branding permeates beyond colors and aesthetics. It's so much of the feel behind the lens. So now we're going to go into the third element, which is don't invest time on what isn't working. And Alyssa's going to take it from there because this is a huge one. So many women lose so much precious time and energy.
Yeah. All right, girls. So I like to think about this, first of all, as realizing that you don't have to do all the things, right? You don't have to have a successful business and be crazy. Believe it or not. It took me 4 years in my business to realize that it wasn't all hustle, right? But that I could also have fun and I could also work smarter instead of working harder, which is how I'm able to now run 2 businesses and have them both be successful because of that fact, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't need to be spending your time everywhere and to be all of the things, right? So I think I like to tell like the girls I work with, like, choose 2 playgrounds that you really want to get started with, right? Like, where are your homie chicks? Like, where are they hanging out online? Where are these girls? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Pinterest? Are they on YouTube? Are they on Instagram? You know, where are they hanging out? And spend your time there building relationships in that particular area. Show up there for your tribe. If you're trying to be here and here and here and here and here and here, you're basically just spreading your energy out. And it's not going to be really focused energy, especially if you're somebody that's really getting started and you're somebody that, you know, really wants to maximize your time and your effort. Like, I don't use Pinterest that much, but I do use it for some things that we'll talk about because of the fact that it gives me long-term exposure, right? But for business-wise, I'm not really on Pinterest that much. I'm on there more for searching for my own educational information. But I find I'm most of the time on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. So if I was a newer business owner, I don't really want to be doing all of the things, right? Because I want to be spending this time really building up my relationships, really working on what my content is, really getting my, you know, my message out there, working with my clients. versus trying to do all of the different things. So, you know, you don't have to, like I said, be in all the different places, but you also don't have to be like completely crazy either, right? That you can work a lot smarter. One thing that I like to do, especially like with Instagram, is, you know, really hone in on some hashtags of where your girls are hanging out, you know, and use those hashtags very, very frequently in your posts. I don't use all the same ones all the time. I have probably like a list of 4 different ones that I rotate through depending on what my content is showing. But it all kind of goes around like the same kind of different areas of who I'm really trying to market. So if you're trying to, you know, connect with stay-at-home moms, you know, maybe you want to be looking at like twin moms or something, or like moms of multiples, right? Or preschool moms or toddler moms, you know, like looking for those particular hashtags of that particular mom and maybe the age of her children that she wants to connect with, versus looking for just like, you know, fit mom or hashtag mom, right? So get a little bit more specific on those hashtags and hang out in those areas, commenting, liking, you know, getting involved in the stories, getting to know those particular people, because you really just need to have like a raving tribe of 1,000 people. You don't need to have all the people, right? So create that tribe where you are located, bloom where you guys are planted. I don't know if I had another, I kind of hit on being strategic as well. I think basically what I want to say with you guys about this time is that I made some huge mistakes in my business because of this. I literally built my personal page on Facebook and then realized I had a business, right? Because I didn't treat my business like a business at first. So I built my business first on my personal Facebook, and then I went to my like page and I started building a business there. And now I'm over here trying to do build a business on Instagram, right? And like Pinterest. And so I've displaced my energy in all of these different places where if I was really smart and really strategic when I first started and did these things that we're teaching you, I would have, I mean, not that I don't, but I would, my energy and my business, I think, would be much bigger than it is now, just because of the amount of focused energy over that time. So the 4th thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this over to Lindsay, and she's going to talk to you guys about being an incredible socialite.
Yes, babe. So, and I can't emphasize mostly like what Alyssa just said. And it's like when we first start as entrepreneurs, whether you're seasoned or you're brand new, you want to tackle everything because you're just like, I can do this. But you got to preserve that energy, which is so important. And literally, we'll talk a little bit later because we have some incredible hashtags that we offer, and we don't want you guys to miss out on that. But the 4th element that is really important that I think is overlooked in so many areas is being a great host, babes.
Oh, goodness. I think
strategy and methods that they're using in order to get to where they're at. So when you're like, oh my gosh, how are they at 140 followers, 40,000 followers, and it's only been a year? You know, like, what are the elements? This is what I'm going to share with you right now is one of the elements that creates trust and builds so much connection and relationship. Have you ever, so I love hosting parties. Like, that's my jam. I love cooking. I love people coming over to my house. I love pouring champagne for everyone, cooking. Like, my husband and I are very big. Like, I'm half Hispanic, he's full Hispanic. So we have tons of family, and we love, like, come over, we'll make tacos and margaritas. Like, that is our thing. Like, we love that. But I will tell you, why do we have people constantly coming to our house to have a good time? Because we interact, right? We engage with people. Like, we sit at the table with them. Like, my house is not always perfectly clean and tidy. Like, I try really hard, but I'm a busy woman. But I would rather have people come in and it be a little bit messy and people just know that they can have a good time and be real with me than to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to stay in the couch. Everything's going to be perfect, right? Like, I take pride in my house and everything, but I also take pride in, like, you come as you are and I will accept you. I will love on you. I will cook for you, and you can enjoy a nice glass of wine, margarita, or whatever the heck you want. And I'm here with you. So that's what you want to create, that space online for people. When they're showing up to your home, which is whether it's your Pinterest account, which a lot of bloggers use, if it's your Instagram account, if it's your Facebook account, whatever that is, you want people to feel like they're at home. They're like, damn, this woman knows how to host a good party. She knows how to host a good stream of information because she's engaging. I don't have to show up perfect. I don't have to know all the answers, but she comes to me and she She brings me the cocktails, right? She brings me the food, the meat and potatoes that I need in order to digest and understand how to get better at whatever it is, whatever your message is for your business. So with that being said, when you are posting something, you guys, people can sniff out authenticity and people can sniff out when people are trying to put on a show, right? So if, again, I invite people over to my home and I'm like, oh, we're cooking tacos and we're going to serve margaritas, but I don't let anyone, I'm like, go sit over in this room. I have like the TV on. I'm going to be over here. I'm going to be cooking and I'm going to have someone serve you a margarita. Like there's so much disconnect that I'm not really engaging with the people at my home. Same thing on the internet. If you have these gorgeous pictures, you have really great aesthetics, right? But the spirit behind it is disconnected. Like the love there isn't disconnected. You are not going to see growth. And that's the sad but honest truth. People are going to go where the love is, where the energy is. And if you don't have that permeating behind your message and behind your social platform, it's not going to grow, babes. So with that being said, when you post something and you say, I'm going to be really authentic here. I'm going to share that I had a miscarriage, but I'm not going to share that just because I'm going to share like, this is a sad story. I'm going to share it because I want to give other women permission to say, hey, me too. I've been there. I know what it's like to need to take a few weeks off of work because I've been trying for so long to get pregnant with my husband or my partner and it didn't go through again. And I just need some mental time. And you're going to give permission to your tribe to say, hey, maybe you haven't been through a miscarriage. Maybe you haven't been through this or that, but I know that you've gone through hard stuff and it's okay to pull back. And so with that, you may get like 80 comments. And these comments, you guys, women may be coming to you with very deep things that they're like, if you're going to open up a deep part of you, don't expect people to not open it back because they will. People are looking for that outlet. So if they're going to say, oh my gosh, I've been through this, I've been through that, they're going to share their stories, their narratives. Babes, you better respond to those women. And I say that because it is an honor. It is an honor that you have a platform that people are willing to share their lives with you. And it is an honor. And you now have this badge of honor to share back and that support with those women. So for you to say, for you to not engage at all with those comments is literally detrimental to not just your business, because whatever, but it's to your character. And as a socialite, I will tell you the women who go to the top have strong character. Not all of them, but a good percentage of them. And the women who are my tribe, at least I know, those are the women who will send back the DMs, who are going to send back the comments, who are going to like the comments. They're not just like, oh, great, I have 80 comments. That looks good on my stream. Let's move on. What's the next post I'm going to do? It's really engaging. And I say that too with DMs. It's really important. If you are not going to respond to DMs, you need to put that, okay, in your Facebook and your Instagram. You need to be able to put, please do not DM me, only emails only. So then, hey, she's being very upfront. She doesn't DM, right? Put your expectations out there for people so that you can rise up to them, right? Don't put barriers. So with that being said as well, if you do DM, but sometimes it takes you a while, say, please allow at least 48 hours for DM or email. So that way they know, hey, she does care. It just takes a minute. As you know, I know Alyssa knows, we are inundated with emails all the time with clients, with people who maybe possibly want to work with us, potential clients. And I want to give the energy and love to them. So I make sure that, hey, within 48 hours, you will hear back from us, right? But it takes time. We have assistants. We have people constantly working with us to help make sure that the flow is good. With that being said, if you guys are going to step into a social media platform, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, there are ways people message. And we want to tell you as a good host, you have to, it is a non-negotiable that you answer to those people. And if you're not going to answer them on a certain way, whether it's email or DM, you need to very much explicitly share that you do not do that so that the expectation is not there. Also be careful with what you post. If you're going to freaking fillet yourself and say, here's my story, expect that there are people who are probably going to share back their story, and you have to have the sensitivity and the love to give back to them. And I see this so many times where women are like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that was going to create so much, which is great. Momentum is great and having people engaged is great. But then it's like, all right, well, that door was open. Now what you got to do is make sure that you're there to even comment and just, hey, thanks for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm with you, sister, whatever it is. But make sure that you guys are there to engage. If people are saying your top is so cute, where did you get it? Don't ghost them, babes. Like, it'd be like, dude, it was at Nordstrom Rack. I got it for $14.99. Like, people love that where you're sharing. Don't be like, oh, girl, I forgot. Like, you didn't forget. And if you truly did forget, you can message and find out where it was at. Okay. So, with that being said, we want to make sure, like, the biggest part of Soulbabe is that we're real and we give so much love and energy to people. The money, like I said, monetizing is a beautiful thing. We want to teach women how to do that because it creates freedom. But really, the spirit behind that and being genuine and authentic is so important. So be a good host. So we're going to finish out with our last element for our webinar. And we thank you guys, babes, so much for joining us. And the last element is showing off your clients, which Alyssa does such an amazing job with doing this.
All right, guys, so I am going to wrap up this little party here together before I get to take your questions. Lindsay and I will be coming talking to you guys, and I can't wait. But I want to talk to you guys about showing off your clients, and I just want to say, if you guys learn anything about this webinar, girls, is that there is room at the top for all of us, and that abundance is really a thing, okay? So I find that, you know, a lot of times when we get started, for one, you got to understand that the more that you lift up other people, the more that you are going to be uplifted, right? That you can be that lighthouse that shines light on everybody else around you. And that is a huge secret to, I feel like, what my success is, because it's not really about me. And I think that I kind of told you guys that before, right? That, like, I work for my girls. Like, I stay up till sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting things done for them, helping them tie up different things with them, because I want them to succeed more than anything. And I am like a mama bear. So when they do good things, I am getting out the sticker charts. I am getting out the recognition. I am doing Women Crush Wednesdays. And I am shouting them out from the rooftops because what they did is absolutely amazing. And I don't think that we clap each other's backs enough, right? So, you know, for one, rise up other people because it's amazing and that we all have this gift to be able to do that, and why not shine light on other people? But number two, it really is going to come to help with people trusting you, right? Because people come to you, they want to know that you are going to be able to solve a problem for them. And so this is really where, like, your testimonials really come in to be really, really important, right? If somebody is coming to you and they want to grow a big business on Instagram, for example, they want to know that you have the tools, you have the knowledge, that you've helped other people, you know, accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. And that is going to come from your testimonials, from your results, sharing those things, whether it's in your email list or, you know, whether it is on your stories or your Instagram or doing Women Crush Wednesdays, having it on your sales pages. Another really, really good tip. But I think that in this kind of era that we're in right now, right, and there's so many people that are leaping into the online space, and you might look at somebody else and like what she's doing or she's doing or she's doing, and you might get, you know, the comparison game going on within your head. What I want to tell you guys is that there is room for the top, really, for all of us, for all of us. There's so much room. There's so much available. The internet is so crazy amazing, and the fact that we have social media to be able to connect us with our tribe is just really, really cool. So, you know, understand that it's not really about you. Like, take the spotlight kind of off of yourself when it comes to that, and showcase, you know, where your clients' results are, showcase all the amazingness and things that are happening within your business, because it's not like you've done some really, really amazing things, and I think that there's nothing more than uplifting and inspiring another woman. I think that we were in this era for so long where, you know, women's competed with one another, and women really didn't have this trust with one another, and we're like literally going back to like tribal days where it's like hunting and gathering, and we're all like sitting around like kumbaya, like raising each other up, right? I feel like this is like the kind of the era that we're in right now. So take advantage of that, you guys. And just understand that there is room at the top for all of us. So I'm going to, we doing questions now?
Yeah. So honestly, it's been great. You guys have sent us over some questions through the chat box, which has been awesome. And please know, if we don't answer your question, it's literally not because we don't love you. It's because we want to be respectful to your guys' time. So we're going to try to get through all of them. If there's a question you're like, I need this answered, you can always go to Soulbabe Tribe and DM us through there. But first, I'm going to start off. This was one of the questions that came earlier, and it's been awesome because we have women all around the world. It's been really cool. One is if I'm new to social media, is this course for me? So when you guys are saying what course, because you guys probably saw that we have a course out, which I'm going to talk to a little bit, and I told you guys about affirmations, and you guys just heard literally 5 elements that Alyssa and I talked about, and there's great information of what we just shared. But if you're like, I want to learn from these women, like I want to learn from the best of the best, and not just the best of the best, but women of integrity. And I say that because I'm proud of that. We have a course right now that is being offered. And it's 4 modules, which is great. And it's self-paced, which is amazing. And you guys can utilize this self-paced course to up-level your social media. So when you or Alyssa talked about, you don't want to spread yourself too thin, right? You don't want to be on every single platform, and you want to hang out where your clients are, right? Well, one question that we hear a lot is, well, where the hell are they? And how do I know where they're at? You may think they're on Instagram, but there's actually research software that we know of that you can actually start to learn where is your audience. Are they actually on LinkedIn? And you could be making way bigger of a difference if you're on LinkedIn and monetizing more if you're on that platform. Mm-hmm. So we share literally the softwares that are used. We also teach you guys, so many women are on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and even just imaging. They're like, I don't know how to size my images. We go as small as that to as softwares to find how to do real research market. The best part about this, again, it's 4 modules, and we literally go through the content as well. So you guys want to know what type of content is performing on your Instagram, your Facebook, your social media. If you're like, damn, I'm getting so many likes, so much engagement when I'm sharing about these different elements, we want to help you pull that out of your business so that you can see that thrive, or at least see your following thrive. If you don't have a business, you're like, I just am a blogger and I want to grow. Great. We teach you that along with our 4 modules, which is literally so dense with great information. We have a lot of bonuses. And honestly, to me, I'm like, I would just sign up for the bonuses. But we have a hashtag list that all of us have used. It's broken down from, like, if you're a beauty blogger, if you are a fitness entrepreneur, if you are a mindset coach. We have all these different hashtags that work, because you know there's shadow banning and all these different type of hashtags, but these are hashtags that actually work. We've put a lot of research and energy into it. And then we also have email templates. So a lot of women are like, hey, I want to start sending emails. I'm not really sure how to do that. What type of content do I share? We walk you through that. And honestly, the best one is our Instagram course. It's 12 modules in itself, is worth like almost $1,000, because that is what we charged our women when they went through the course. And that's a bonus. It's 12 modules of going through literally as small as what your bio should look like, to how to utilize highlights, how to improve your engagement on Instagram. So this is just one platform that we focus on. And it's a bonus because some of our clients are like, Instagram's a beast. So we want to make sure we share the information with you guys about Instagram. So we have an ebook that's coupled with this 12 module breakdown, and they're like 12, 15, 20 sections that we go through in each module. And it's so easy. So many of our women who went through it have seen wild success. One of our girls gained 1,000 followers in 1 month after going through it. So it kind of depends on how much you're going to plug in the energy. But that is our bonus. So our social media socialite course is truly, it's 4 modules. We go through all different types, from like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all different types of social media, so you can figure out what is best for you, your business, or your blog. But we have some awesome bonuses with Instagram, email templates, and hashtags. So it's pretty amazing. And we're offering this right now. And that was one of the questions, is like, is it for everyone? And if you're seasoned, you can learn from it, because we're constant learners, right? There's nuggets of information that are amazing. If you're brand new, you are going to be saturated with so much goodness to start off your social media new journey in such a great way, because you're building a foundation that is strong. So it is for everybody, but I will say right now is the best time, because I'm not sure if we're ever going to offer this again, just because it's very special. We've like put all of our energy into it, and it's a very low price right now, where it's going to be almost doubled in a few months, because we're adding some other stuff to it. But yeah, you guys are welcome to it. It's $9.97. It's a course. There's payment plans available too, but it is for everyone. So the second question, which Alyssa, I think we just answered, was how long will it take to finish? And it's self-paced. So you guys can literally tackle it in a weekend, which we wouldn't recommend because we want you to absorb it, or it can be a few months. And then another question that came through is, what is a social media socialite? So I don't know, Alyssa, do you want to talk a little bit and then I can wrap it up too with that one?
Yeah, sure. So, a social media socialite is just really like you. You're like a soul babe that you use social media to connect and to grow your online empire, to get your vision, your mission out into the world. You're there, you're engaging, you've got a audience that knows, loves, and trusts you, and you guys are both serving each other graciously, and that is really what you are here to do. You know, I think one thing I really just quickly want to say, that I think that being a social media socialite comes with a lot of responsibility. And so I think that a lot of times we look at like, oh, you have 100,000 followers, or oh, you have 50,000 followers, or oh, you grew this, or oh, you grew that. But it does come with a responsibility to show up for your audience, and it does come with a responsibility to educate and to entertain them and to build that trust, you know, up with them. And I think that that is what a social media socialite has accomplished, is that they have real, loving, engaged followers of a tribe of people that really, really love them, not just this like, you know, fake engagement or, you know, this where they don't have a really following. They're really not making the impact that they want to make, right? And I think that when it comes to my clients, it's about making the impact, right? Because we don't want to do what we're doing. If we're not making impact, we're not seeing change, who cares if you have like 100,000 followers, right? So I think that social media socialite is somebody that's doing what they want to do and making the impact that they really want to make.
Amen. So if you're sitting here and you're like, I've been on social media for a while and I really want that, I really want to be that socialite, you guys totally can. It's possible to do that. And we literally break it down in such a way that helps you take step by step, and the methods, the exact methods that we have used to get our following to 130,000, 100,000, 50,000. We have different Instagram handles to get our Facebooks thriving. So we want to share all of that information. So this is another question. It's more just tailored to us. What is your specific social media platform? For myself right now, I know Instagram has been really instrumental for my own business. So that one is my favorite. I don't know, Alyssa, which one yours would be?
I definitely like IG stories, and I also do like a lot of different groups within Facebook and go live and stuff within those groups and really serve like my immediate tribe there. But I would say like IG stories is kind of my jam.
Yes. And we are looking more like Pinterest. We're getting way more conversions in there a little bit right now, which has been cool. So Pinterest is kind of one of these untapped markets, which we're excited to teach with you guys on as well. Do you have payment plans? We totally do. So you guys went on the checkout button, you guys can see there are payment plans. And then this is a great question. Alyssa, you're going to kill it. Why is mindset? What would you say mindset can contribute to social media? Like, is that important?
Oh, guys, like I think mindset is everything. I really, really do. I think that once you realize that you can, right, that you might see us accomplishing these things, or you might see other, you know, bloggers or social media socialites, right, or influencers out there and think that, you know, they have this, they have that, whatever. But I want to tell you that once you step into owning who you are and really believing that, right, just getting crystal clear on that vision, girl, you're unstoppable. Like you become absolutely unstoppable. And here's the thing, like it's just stepping into that, right? So anything that you want to do, want to achieve, you know, step into being what that is, start doing those things that that person is doing, and soon you're going to be doing the things that you really want to do. So mindset, I think, is everything. I really, really do. And being in alignment and being in flow. And also energy, like energy kind of goes along with mindset too, but it's the energy that you bring out to your audience is so important. So important. I would rather actually skip a day or two of going online if I was in a funk than going online and bringing that negative energy into my space, because I think it's super important that we protect the energy that we put out there. So that kind of goes along with mindset too. But yeah, mindset is absolutely everything, because when you believe it, you absolutely 100% can, and you're going to blow your mind with what you're going to achieve, you know? So mindset is absolutely everything, and it's a daily discipline, that you have to
Amen.
work on.
Yes, absolutely. You have to renew that every morning. Totally. I so agree. We're just going to do one more question, you guys, because we want to be respectful. It's already been an hour, but will you offer this course again? So we have limited offers for social media. Like we've offered Instagram training, which we don't offer anymore. And now we have this social media socialite training, and the bonus is now with Instagram. So I can't promise you this will be offered again. And it's literally not for scarcity effect. I'm being honest. It's just, we're constantly evolving. And Alyssa knows that. Like there's so many visions, like our goals are pretty large. And we love that we are able to speak social media right now in our lives, but we can't promise that it's going to be here. So that, again, if the payments are right now, you're like, oh, I want to invest. I will tell you this. I remember when I first started in my coaching and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to invest, but I have $50,000 in debt of student loans. I'm telling you, the moment that mindset shift was like, I am deserving of the investment. And I remember investing $1,800 into a portion of my business that was really hard for me, that I wasn't understanding. And after that course, it was self-paced. I booked my $7,000 client, which is wild. And I really do think that energy that I expended in saying like, I'm going to do this, I'm putting the energy in, it blew me away. So I encourage you guys, stretching is good. If it's going to stretch you, that's okay. And I truly believe that things can come back tenfold for you. But if the payment plan works better, that's why we created it for some of you babes out there, the socialites who are like, I want to do this, I just need a plan. There are payment plans available. So that's it, you guys. Again, I wish we could have answered every single question, but we're so blessed that you guys took time of your day to listen to us. We hope that you're not just leaving with information on socialite, but leaving information for yourself to build your business or your message with integrity. That platform is so important. Like having character that is full of love and grace to the world is so much more important than honestly anything else. How many followers, how much engagement. You want it to be real. You want it to be truthful and from the heart. So thank you guys again, and we are wishing you well. And I don't know if there's anything else, Alyssa, you want to share with the team.
No, I just want to thank you guys all for spending your time with us. I know that, time is so, so valuable. So I'm super excited to see you guys in our course and for you guys to be able to learn from us just some of the things that, the things that have been able to help us create some incredible businesses and just be able to serve you guys in that area. So I'm just excited that we had tonight together, and I just feel really, really grateful for that. So I'll talk to you guys later. Can we get a recorded?